हेलो फ्रेंड, वेद आई में आपका स्वागत है। एज यू नो दैट वी आर already running our current affairs classes, one or two topics we take daily, and today's topic we are going to discuss on the Delimitation Commission. We have recently heard this particular term Delimitation Commission in news. What is this Delimitation Commission and what was the news about this particular Delimitation Commission? I am going to tell you about the news which is related with the this particular Delimitation Commission. And now you have to, and after discussing this particular news, we will discuss what were the topic we have to read according to this news, so that if the UPSC or UPPCS is going to ask question from this particular topic, you will answer in exact way what they demand. And second topic we will discuss it after later on, but today there will be only two topics. The first topic is on the Delimitation Commission. Delimitation Commission, we have heard in news about Jammu and Kashmir. What was this particular news? That Delimitation Commission has released a report. It has given a report that and they have recommended that the legislative assembly of the Union Territory of Jammu Kashmir should be constituted. That means we have already seen few years back that the Article 370, the provisions, some of the provisions of the Article 370 has been removed from the Constitution, so that the Jammu and Kashmir should become a part of it, become a legal part, and the separate constitution of which was constitution for Jammu and Kashmir, which was made during the independence, it has been abolished. Now, why this commission has recommended this particular report? Because after the removal of some of the provision of the Article 370, the Jammu and Kashmir was directly under the control of central government. That means it was made a union and territory. Under Article 3, we study the Reorganization Act of states, where a central can change the boundary, change the area depending upon the population of area, increase the area, decrease the name, all can it be done by the central government on the basis of Article 3. This particular Delimitation Commission was made in 1951 to decide the increase in the seats of state legislative assemblies or union territories on the state assemblies or union territories, so that there should be no problem in getting election on the basis of universal adult franchises. That means the total number of seats were be allotted on the basis of the population, what were the population of that particular state, and how many seats were allotted to the members, whether that particular seats belongs to a general category or minority category or SC category or ST category. The seats may be divided on the basis of populations. It is going to be decided by this particular Delimitation Commission. Now, this commission has made clear that the conduct of assembly election, there will be a assembly election for the union territories. It is very clear that when they are deciding about the seats and deciding about the state legislature, that means there will be also going to be an election. That means there will be a direct role of election commission in this particular things. So we also have to read about the election commissioner of office and the functioning of the election commissioner, and what are the how the elections were conducted of the union territories, or it is a state. What are the some of the provision under State Reorganization Act or Delimitation Commission which was given in this particular thing? The provisions were that the number of the seats of the Legislative Assembly should be increased. You have already know that there was a separate Legislative Assembly for Jammu Kashmir before removal of the Article 370. These seats were going to be added in that, but the number of seats have been divided between Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh region. Therefore, there will be a separate Legislative Assembly for Jammu Kashmir and a separate system for Ladakh. Now, the number of seats have been increased to 7 seats. That means earlier there was 83 seats. Now, with the increase of 7 seats, there will be a 90 seats in the Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. 6 seats were from Jammu and 1 seat from Kashmir region. That means Delimitation Commission has recommended to increase 6 seats from Jammu and 1 seat from Kashmir region. That means total number of the seats will be 90, but the ratio of the seats is that 43 seats are from Jammu division and 47 seats were from Kashmir division. These are the provision. First, number of seats were 83, increased to 90, total number 70 seats have been increased, 43 seats for Jammu and 47 seats for Kashmir. इतना तो सब में क्लियर हो गया होगा. Now the main and the most important thing is that they have introduced this particular things first time in the Jammu Kashmir Legislative Assembly by the Delimitation Commission. What was that particular first thing? There was a provision to reserve 9 assembly seats, 6 in Jammu and 3 in Kashmir. That means 9 seats for SC and STs के लिए, only 9 seats for STs के लिए है, 6 from Jammu and 3 from Kashmir. ये किसके लिए है? Only for STs के लिए. This was introduced first time in Constituent Assembly by the Delimitation Commission. ये क्वेश्चन आना ही आना है क्योंकि ये फर्स्ट टाइम है. जो फर्स्ट टाइम क्वेश्चन होता है वो आता ही आता है. इतना आप लोगों को समझ में आ गया. और नाउ द क्वेश्चन अराइज, if the seats for SCs are 9, so what are the number of the seats for SC? SC number is 7. There are 7 number of seats for SC. It was earlier also. There has been no increase for the SC seats. Only first time 9 seats has been introduced for ST. अभी तक ST के लिए कोई सीट्स का ऐसा प्रोविज़न नहीं था. तो ये मोटा मोटा है. अब इसमें इसके अलावा क्या है? इसके अलावा है कि एक आता है POJK और कश्मीरी पंडित. They have been given special provision and special things and were made in the for the representation of Kashmiri Pandits and POJK. persons. That means if we see that there are 18 seats of Vidhan Sabha on one Lok Sabha seat. That means one Lok Sabha seat contains 18 Vidhan Sabha seat. If there are 5 Lok Sabha seats, there are 5 Lok Sabha seats in Jammu and Kashmir, and one Lok Sabha seat contain 18 Vidhan Sabha seat. 18 into 5 is equal to 90. Total number of seats 90 Vidhan Sabha seats. The last delimitation commission for Jammu and Kashmir was this commission report was done on 1995. After that, the present chairman of this delimitation commission is retired judge of Supreme Court, and her name is Ranjana Prakash Desai. Who is she? Ranjana Prakash Desai is at present time is chairman of delimitation commission. This question is going to be asked every time. After that, the second thing and the most important thing is that the second topic is that CRS report. What is CRS report? CRS report 2022. 22 में ये जारी की गई है, लेकिन ये रिपोर्ट है 2020 की. Civil registration system. What is CRS? Civil registration system. It was released by central government on May 2022 on the basis of death and birth report. That means this particular report is based on death and birth of the people. It says that registered birth decreased from 2.4 crores in 2019 to 2.42 crore in 2020. That means there is a decrease of 2.4%. What is the decrease percentage of the birth, registered birth? It is decreased by 2.4%. Death of people is higher in 2019, higher in 2020 than in 2019, and the ratio of the death higher death is 6.2%. What was the ratio? What is the ratio? The ratio is 6.2%. 6.2%. ध्यान से. The highest death rate recorded in Bihar, that is 18.3%, and after the Bihar, the highest death rate was in Maharashtra, that is 16. Bihar is on number 1 and Maharashtra is on number 2. 16.3 in Bihar and 18.3 in Bihar and 16.6 in Maharashtra. The highest sex ratio at birth recorded in Ladakh. लद्दाख के बाद अरुणाचल प्रदेश, अंडमान, त्रिपुरा, केरला. लोवेस्ट सेक्स रेशियो रिकॉर्डेड इन मणिपुर. लद्दाख में कितनी थी? लद्दाख में 1104. व्हाट इज़ द हाईएस्ट सेक्स रेशियो इन लद्दाख? 1104. अंडमान में 1011, 1011. अरुणाचल प्रदेश में. अंडमान में 984. इसी तरह लोवेस्ट सेक्स रेशियो, इफ यू सी द लोवेस्ट सेक्स रेशियो, द लोवेस्ट सेक्स रेशियो इज इन मणिपुर, दैट इज 880. आफ्टर दैट दादरा एंड नागरा हवेली एंड दमन दीव 898. आफ्टर दैट गुजरात 909, हरियाणा 916, MP 921. नाउ इट कम्स ऑन उत्तर प्रदेश. इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. उत्तर प्रदेश. Uttar Pradesh sex ratio is 912, out of 1000, but it is below the national level sex sex ratio. That is, national sex ratio is 940 out of 1000 according to census 2011. These are the main things. Ye some of the important points which are going to be asked, because these are the fact data which they may be asked from the first news which we have already discussed about the Delimitation Commission. All the questions is going to be asked from the State Reorganization Act and what is the Delimitation Commission. So you have to study about that very thoroughly. So then we can say that today's 2 topics are over. We will give you 2 topics daily on the basis of the current affairs, and tell what type of what you have to read, and from where you have to read. You know already, you have to read the best book. Okay, today's class is over. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.